training help video for cut and fold wrap. In particular, this is for Kelly's Caramels, but it is for general use. This is not the machine that went to Kelly's Caramels, but it's very similar. So I will say any changes that I can see. But we need to look at the photographs for this machine, Kelly's Caramels, which Paul has put into the project file. So looking at the photographs, and you should be able to see the differences. I'll start with the safety of the machine, and the first point is that we have a door that opens here. This door opens here, and that is for so we can get in and have a look at the toffee feed area. We have a down at the back over here, down there, we have a guard switch, so when the door is open, it will cut the machine power off. There is also a guard switch on this cover, so should the operator lift that cover up, the machine will stop. There is also a gate on Kelly's Caramels machine which slides either one way or the other, and again that is interlocked so that if it's opened the machine will stop. And basically that is your safety system. We have an emergency stop there which you can stop the machine with. Basically that's it for safety. Cleaning, again, if you want to clean the machine, open the door, you can get full access to all this area. You've got access to the area here, and if you come round here, if you open the gate, which is not on this machine, you've got access to all the bottom area and round here, so you can actually clean everything with them two doors open. To clean it, hot soapy water on a cloth, squeeze out the cloth. We don't want the machine drenched with water, we want to keep it nice and dry. So when you finish wiping it down, make sure you dry it off after. Controls, working of the machine. Controls, very simple. We have a run start button and a stop button. The emergency stop we've covered. On this one we have a key switch, so we can engineer can lock the machine and work on it with the guards open. We have a speed controller, and we have something which I don't know what it is. I presume it is the print registration unit. We have an alarm to indicate when a guard switch is opened. We have temperature controllers which are for the walking bar, which is the heater. There's the cable, and it goes to the walking bar here, which keeps which seals the upper side of the folds on the twist wrapper, on the fold wrap. Here we have the knobs that alter the roll in and out, so it will move the roll that way or that way, depending. On Kelly's Caramels I think there are 3. On here we have a brake. When that goes forward, you can see the brake here, and the brake, as the paper pulls, the brake comes off to let the paper run off the roll, and then when the machine stops, the brake is applied and it is locked. How do we use the machine? Bit of a muddle here, but start again. To use the machine, candy goes in here and is fed under 2 rollers, 1, 2. That gives us the cross section size of the piece. On this machine we have a sensor that detects the rope as it's going through. Then there's a timer, so the rope goes through, it goes under the sensor, a signal is sent to say the rope's coming, and then the rubber roller will start to turn as the first candy is cut and transferred into the wrapping wheel. Now this is adjustable and you can change it by altering a timer that is in the back somewhere, which is there. It can be altered by that timer. That needs to be checked with Richard Jackson. On the Kelly's caramel machine, it's actually a limit switch that is there, not a sensor. And the limit switch, again, it goes into the back of the machine, and I'm not sure whether it's controlled by the PLC or whether there's a timer in there. We would have to check with Richard Jackson or Dave. So the candy goes through. I'll just open this so we can see how it does it. Candy enters there, comes through and comes out here. If the cross section of the rope isn't what we want it, and we want it bigger or thicker or thinner, should I say, we have two hand wheels there, and if we look at that, if we want to go up, well, basically they alter the rollers so they go wider or narrower, giving a bigger cross section of rope. So that's how you would control the thickness. To take these rollers off for cleaning is we just pull these pins out here. No tools are required. We pull the pins out here and then the rollers will come off. We probably just need to take them 3 screws out. The rollers will just come off. We actually did Kelly's caramel, so it's exactly the same. When you start the batch off and you stop it, when you stop the batch, there is always a section of candy that is left here, and that's normal on most cutting wraps. It's very important that when a batch has gone through, that the operator just lifts that up and removes the candy, which will be just forward of the roller. That needs to go in the manual, and it needs to have a red thing because you need to do it after every batch. It takes the operator 5 seconds to do it. So we've covered this area now. When you close the door, when you open this door, and if you should move the hand wheel to move the machine for whatever reason, one thing that will change is this clutch. We have 2 of them, this one and this one, and they have to be in the right position to locate. If they're not in the right position, you will not be able to close the door. And this one here moves very easily. So basically, you just have to get that into the right position so that the door closes. Example. Door is closed, you can see it's flush here. If I open it and I just turn that a little bit to there and I close the door, it is not flush there. It needs to be flush, so we cannot close the door. So we have to open it, and we just have to line that up so it matches. Then when we close it, it's flush. When we've closed it, we use this screw here to lock and unlock that door. We call that the toffee feed door. Candy goes into the machine. I'll just open the door again. The candy is then cut, and it's in this piece here, and the machine, if I can just turn it, we have a, get that so you can see it. You can see there how the knives cut the toffee. If we look at that, you'll note the knives are together and just pass each other. a couple of millimeters. These knives are very easy to change just by taking out the 2 screws there, and the knife comes away and you basically put another one on. Very simple. If you want to take the knives off to clean them, just undo these 2 Allen screws here, and that will slide off, and then that one will slide off. Now we have a pin at the back here, so when you put the knives back, the knives will go in exactly the same place as last time. You don't have to sort of where do these go. The pin that you can see under there is the locator. To set the knives in the right position in the first place, you would just do these, undo these. This turns around slightly, and that will move the pin and the position of the knives. So once you're in the optimum position for the knives, lock that off and keep it there. It'll always be in the right position then. We have a little transfer piece, which you'll see come round. There, do you see it? Which pushes the candy. This piece here, my finger's on. That the candy's already been cut now, and that pushes the candy into the wrapping wheel there. So that's how the candy comes in and gets transferred into the wrapping wheel. The film, which we can see how the film is orientated to go in. As we said before, when the sensor is triggered by the candy, a timer comes in and starts feeding the film so that the first piece of toffee gets wrapped. This rubber roller needs to be kept clean and dry. If it doesn't, the toffee will start to skid, the film will start to skid, and we'll end up getting different lengths of film. So always make sure that's nice and clean and dried off with a cloth. The knives, see the knives there come off with 3 screws. Then there is also the anvil, which has 2 screws. There's a separate video of this that Mike did, which should be in the project file for Typey. If not, Paul knows where it is, and it shows you how to change the blades. Coming around this side of the machine, we have a print registration unit here, which basically I am pretty sure that this switch here controls that, and basically that keeps your logo should you have a printed film, which is very rare on these machines. It's usually always a continuous film, but should it have print registration, that's what controls it. This arm here, which has 2 pieces of, if you can see it, just has a little guide on it there. That helps to transfer the film over with the candy when it transfers over. There's one on the other side. The position of it is critical, so should it bend or anything like that, it will make a problem of wrapping. You won't get good wraps, so you have to make sure that's nice and straight. Probably a little bit of Mike, if you just ask Mike how they will need to be, Mike will tell you. The tuckers, these tuckers are to start the folding of the V's of the wrap, and they're set and they're on a keyway, so they can't be moved. You will note that there is a little bit of an adjustment in there, so you can have them up and down. So this is critical. It's been set on Kelly's caramels, and Kelly's caramels should be marked. Paul goes on about measurements and all the rest of it, so I would assume that he has got a measurement for that. The walking bar, basically as the candies get into position here, this will pull it out of the wrapping wheel and bring it along and then drop it out of the machine. This here is the part that folds the V's. If you imagine, if you look at the wrapper, you've got two V's. Well, this is the thing that actually folds the two V's. Then when the two V's have been folded, they run along this heated plate which melts the film so that it sticks together, so you've sealed the V's to the actual wrap piece, and basically these then fall out. When that's put down, there is an adjuster for this, which is here, and you see